Okay, Lindsay. So now we're back to our second lesson. So just a review of last time, we reviewed all pretty much how to put our instrument together, reviewed mouthpiece and embouchure, how to breathe, we reviewed good posture of the clarinet, and we learned how to go down on the F scale. And today we're going to do more of articulating with the scale, and then we're going to learn some things called twelfths, and we're going to learn how to create a bridge, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the lesson. But first, let's do some open G's just to get our sounds going. So again, good posture. I'm going to go first, and then you go second. Describe to me your sound, what things you thought were good, things you thought need improvement.
I started good. There's like a little bit of shake in
Yeah, at the end, if we were to draw your sound, I thought it looked like this. It was nice and full, and we had like a bump, and then it kind of.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So again, what concept or what do we think we have to focus on when we're trying to get a full tone?
Distributing the air.
Yeah, pretty much your air just continuing the flow. So again, we're aiming for this. So listen to mine again, and then try to imitate it. Again, you see, make sure your hand posture is still good, even on notes that you don't have anything down. Tell me about that one.
There's a bump at the beginning this time, so.
I'd agree with that. It kind of sounded a little like this, right? After that little burst at the beginning, it kind of just leveled out, and it was a good, nice full tone. Mm-hmm. So to avoid that, again, just air, making sure it doesn't stop at the beginning. It just goes in and then straight out through the reed. Mm-hmm. You heard? That was a lot better. Try it again. It's probably the best one so far. Do you agree? Yeah. So now that's just a concept you have to just continue on doing whenever you're practicing. If you're starting with say you're practicing on your own, or you have a student that's practicing, you're teaching them clarinet, and they're going through long tones first, because that's what everyone should do when they're practicing by themselves first to get them going. The things you focus on is air support, good tone, and if you're doing long tones with like groupings, phrasing, and dynamics. So long tones, what we do them for is just to build our tone and go through all of those things. And it's very important that when you have beginners to focus on long tone exercises for a while, just to build those connections and relations. And then connect that to music. And then they'll be like, oh, we did that in our warm-up exercises. So now we just got our notes going, just making sure our tone is nice and full. Let's go through our F scale again. So our F major scale. So let's review our fingerings. The first fingering is
F, which is thumb.
F is thumb. Next is
E,
which is
thumb and 1.
Then
thumb and 2 is D. Thumb and 3 is C.
Thumb 1, 2, 3.
Thumb 1, 2, 3 is C. Thumb 1, 2, 3, 1 is B flat.
B flat.
Thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is A. Thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is G. Thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and second pinky.
Second pinky.
E is F.
Yeah. So the reason I'm calling the second pinky key is so whenever you're teaching your beginners like a lot of stuff with pinky keys, you can count them like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kind of make a box with them. There's this exercise called pinky gymnastics that you can do with students, where they kind of just like just move around in the pinky, just to build exercise on the pinky. So that's why I'm calling this pinky 2. Yeah. Pinky key 2. That's what it relates to. So whenever you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's kind of for that exercise. And it's just a good reference to use whenever you're fingering this. So let's go. First, let's slur down to the F, and then we'll slur up, and then we'll add articulation, and then we'll go on with the scale. So me first, I'm gonna slur all the way down. One, two, ready. The first note is F, and we finger F.
Thumb.
Thumb. 1, 2, ready. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So tell me about the scale. Were the notes even? Did you get all your fingerings right? Did you have any blips in there?
There was like a few blips, but it wasn't like major blip. It was just because the fingers was still trying to find the hole.
Yeah. So overall, I think the sound was pretty consistent. Like the notes were even. There was those little minor blips, but again, that just comes with practice. Making sure you can cover the holes all the way with your fingers. Remember, these are a lot bigger than these holes. Using your chubbies to cover the holes. So now we're gonna start. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll go up. So me first. Listen and watch, and then finger along. 2, ready. One, two, ready. Let's get a good start right from the beginning. Again, remember, thumb, hair in, out. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Better than before, right? So now let's start from the bottom. Work our way up. So I'm gonna mono first. Make sure you have all your fingers down. Make sure you're covering all the holes when you're getting for F. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, ready. We're gonna slur all of it. So no tonguing. We'll get the tonguing right after that. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. So tell me about it.
The air sounded weak towards when I was at the bottom, and then at the end I kind of accidentally covered the hole.
I heard the like little dip in the last note. So to eliminate the weak sound at the bottom, it's just more air support. So the whole thing, air is everywhere. You need air with everything, pretty much playing all the notes. So let's try it again. We're gonna try to get a full tone right in the bottom, more air support. 1, 2, ready. Okay. So if we ever get that, like it's kind of squeezing out, it might be because you're not covering all the holes. So it's especially with this finger where you need to make sure you're covering all the holes. Slide it down a little bit. Better. And this finger. Now let's play your F. There it is. Now let's try going up. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got that little.
Yeah, my fingers wanted to go back down.
Yeah. So if you are playing like notes down here and then your finger like hovers too close to it, we're gonna get that bend in the pitch because it's thinking that you're gonna cover that. Let's try it again. Let's eliminate those blips. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better, right? I think you need to just balance more with the sound. It might have been a little too loud. That's okay. So now that we've made our way down and made our way up, let's put them together. So I'm gonna play first. I'm gonna model going down and going up right after another. So finger long. 1, 2, ready. Now I'll let you try. 1, 2, ready. Tell me about it.
Overall, I just needed more air support, and then I don't know what happened right there.
I think there was sections of the scale that were fuller than other sections of the scale.
Mhm.
Do you agree?
Mhm.
So the whole thing is just, instead of your air doing this, instead of air going da 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 da, if I was drawing like the air support, instead of it being nice and full and then too little, like not enough, and then getting back, we have to still think. So let's try it again. Make your way down, back up. 1, 2, ready. A lot better, right? Why was it better?
I made sure the air was steady and I distributed my air correctly.
So those are all just things you focus on when you're doing scale stuff, making sure all even, air is consistent throughout. So now let's add in some tonguing stuff. So again, when I said tonguing, how did I say we tongue?
Tip of the tongue to the top of the tip of the reed.
Yeah, so we think one little taste bud is touching the reed. So if I'm gonna tongue 4 F's, for example. They're nice and connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're going down the scale, going up the scale, all the notes are still going to be that connected. So how about you tongue 4 F's first? Yeah, you first. Turn 1, 2, ready. The last 3 are really good. The first one, it was kind of separated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try it again. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, they were all more even and consistent than before. So now we're going to group our tonguings into the scale into groups of tonguing. So I'm going to do F, E, D, C. I'm going to just tongue that. How about you try? 1, 2, ready. Listen to mine again and try to match the exact same way. Nice and connected. 1, 2, ready. Dynamically, they were completely different. The beginning was a little quiet, and then you got really loud at the end. Tonguing wise, it was a little more consistent than before. So try it again, just all the same volume, same consistency of air. 1, 2, ready. So we get those squeaks and stuff as if you don't cover the whole hole, or if you touch side keys, stuff like that. So try it again, just make sure. This one doesn't even have a ring on it, so you have to make sure you get to that hole right away with your finger. Again, 1, 2, ready. Yeah, good, right? A lot better than before. So now we're going to chunk the bottom half of the scale, starting on B flat going to F. 1, 2, ready. Good. You got that one like right on the first time. So it was nice and consistent. So by working on something first and then figuring out what you have to do, what you have to fix, and then trying it on another group, helps, right?
Mhm.
You knew exactly what you had to do for that one. So now let's try to put the entire going the way down together. Me first, finger long. Return, 1, 2, ready. Yeah, so remember what could possibly be going on that the notes didn't come out.
It ain't 'cause of the poker.
Yeah,
Therefore.
it looked like you weren't covering.
It was just one side.
Yeah, it was kind of half. So let's try the whole thing again. So make sure you take a big enough breath from the beginning that you can make it all the way down to the bottom. With all consistency of air, consistency of dynamic too. Again, 1, 2, ready. Good. We had one little in there. But overall, how do you think it went overall?
They're connected.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I got all
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah, I didn't hear any blips. You had that one little on one of the notes. But overall, tonguing is nice and connected. So now let's work our way down to the top. We're going to start on F, and we're going to do the chunk from F to B flat. So me first, finger long. Your turn, 1, 2, ready. Good. Try one more time, just for consistency. 2, ready. Make sure you're supporting with sound and air at the bottom. 2, ready. Good. Now C to F. Your turn. 1, 2, ready. Good with connection. Now let's avoid the beep on the C that we get at the beginning. Again, 1, 2, ready. Better. So now all the way from the bottom to the top. So finger long. I'm gonna model. 1, 2, ready. So try it. 1, 2, ready. Good, nice and connected, right? So the concept is getting easier. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you focus on it a lot on one section, and then you just apply that same thing on the next groupings we're doing, it makes it easier overall. So now we're gonna try tonguing from the top to the bottom, back up. So finger long as I go first. 1, 2, 3. Your turn. 1, 2, ready. Good. Tell me about it. Good things?
Yeah. Just always that flip on the C.
Yeah. So what do you think you need to do to avoid that?
To hit directly onto the hole.
Onto the hole. So with practice is where internally you'll memorize like that's where the hole is. It takes a while since this one again doesn't have a ring on it. It'll take a while to just like, remember exactly where it is. So like I've been playing for a long time. I know where it is. Let's try it again for consistency. 1, 2, ready. And that little blip. Try one more time.
Yeah.
Just to eliminate that. 1, 2, ready. Good. So we've done slurring, we've done tonguing of the scale, and those are just different things you have to learn when doing scales, so you'll be able to do it in a bunch of different articulations. So when you're beginning, you start with slurring because it's a lot easier, and then we add in tonguing. So now that we've done that, we quickly reviewed, we learned tonguing and slurring. Now let's get to a new concept that's called 12s. So what that means is we clarinet players have what's called a register key. The saxophone has an octave key. The oboe has an octave key. When we press this key, it doesn't go up an octave, it goes up a 12. So for example, if I was to play an F and I hit the octave key, it would go to a C in the upper the register key, sorry. If I were to hit the register key when playing an F, a C would come out. And the distance from an F to that, from low F to the top C is a 12. So, we're going to do this exercise with the scale we just learned, or just played. So, we're going to start from the bottom of the instrument, go F, and then all you do is hit your register key. So, I'm going to go first, and then I'll explain a little bit more, and then you'll try. So, with this, there is nothing changing. Your tongue is still high, your air support is still going. All you're doing is pressing the register key. To make it, and what you're focusing on is having a clear connection between the two notes. We don't want like a break in between. So if you listen again to mine, here I was, and then the next note came out right away. So that's what we're aiming for. To help the connection, especially when we get higher and the notes get a little harder to keep stable, you can try adding a little crescendo at the end of the lower note. So how about you try? So finger low F, and then play that one. Let's play that for 2 beats, and then we'll play the C for 2 beats. 1, 2, ready. So it's not coming out. Make sure you're covering all the holes. Make sure it might actually be the clarinet, but play your low F. Okay, so try it yourself. 1, 2, ready. Oh, good. So thing was just covering the holes a little bit. So now that whole same concept applies as we're going up the scale. So the first note we did was F to C. The next one is going to be G, and that note is going to, when you hit the register, it's going to go up to a D. So if I were to draw this out on G stem, we have F and C. So the notes that are going to be coming out, we have F and C, G and D, A and E, B flat and F, C and G, D and A, E and B, F and C. So with this exercise, you're learning, you've already played all these, and now you're going to play all of these next. A whole new register of notes. So we did F to C. Now the next one is we're going to play G. We're going to get D above that. So play your G for 2 counts, and then all you do is hit the register key. If you need a little help to get the note out, remember you can try a crescendo at the end. So 2 beats each. 1, 2, ready. Oh, good, that was a clear connection. So now the next one would be, next note is A, and we're going to an E. So same concept. 1, 2, ready. Okay, so first things first, we don't want our fingers to be flying off the instrument. Remember, covering and covering. Or you can think that hovering and covering. That's cute. So that one was a little less stable, right? So the whole thing is you have to keep the air going. Try a little crescendo at the end of the A if you want to help you get the E. 1, 2, ready. Make sure your finger is like a C in curve. We don't want to touch the key. But that was a lot better with the E, A to the E. So next is B flat to F. 1, 2, ready. So for the top note, we want it to be pretty much matching dynamics volumes too. Yes, we're crescendoing at the end, but we don't want it to go and like yell out all crazy at the top note. Let's do B flat to F one more time. 1, 2, ready. Yep. So now the next one is C to G. Once we start getting up to only the top hand, it gets a little more difficult to keep the note stable, but that's where you have to keep the air going. You can try the crescendo at the end of the note, the lower note, to get the higher note. So C to G. Make sure your thumb isn't pushed in a lot. But 1, 2, ready. Okay, so tell me about that one.
I didn't have enough air support with the C.
Yeah. For the G above. And the C, yeah.
What?
The C was a little weak.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure if the lower note isn't supported, for sure the upper note is not going to be supported. Let's try it again. 1, 2, ready.
I didn't cover this one.
Yeah. So you know what happened. Yeah. So let's try it again. 1, 2, ready. Let's try to get more of a clear connection between the two. It was kind of a little muddy in between. Again, 1, 2, ready. Starting on the low note. 1, 2, ready. So make sure it's a nice smooth connection between. So how about you hold out the C, and then when I go like this, you hit the register key. So play your C. A lot better than before, right? Now let's try it 2 and 2. 2 beats. 1, 2, ready. Yeah. Now 2 more to go. Or 3. D to A. 1, 2, ready. Do you think your D was supported?
No.
No, so the A for sure didn't come out. So support to the D. 1, 1, 2, ready. God damn it, Lindsay. Let's play our D. Okay. Breathe.
Sorry.
It was her, Dr. Jeffords. Okay. D. 1, 2, ready. It's a little. A is probably the most unstable note on the clarinet, so this one you really do have to focus on the air, the consistency of everything else. So let's do the same exercise. Hold the G, and then when I go like this, you hit the register. Ready? You hear we got the little ooh. So with upper notes, there's this thing called undertones, which is like a huge concept, which I'm not gonna go too far into, but you get those when your tongue isn't far back enough in your mouth, and your throat isn't in the E. So if you say E, say E, E, the way your throat is has to stay like that the entire time. E when you're playing the clarinet, or else you're gonna get those. So if you're thinking O or all in your mouth, it's not the right vowel sound. You're gonna get the lower note. So you have to think E. Think your tongue high in your mouth. So play D again. Ooh, it got better at the end. What did you do different?
I think I just covered this a little more better. Because I kind of just.
So let's try just covering the whole right from the beginning all of it. Again, play the D. Yeah, there it is, right? So now let's let's move on to E to B. Here, E. So what did you change?
I had a. Yeah, oh no, I went like this. There's
The angle.
the angle.
So you change your angle. So how about we keep the same angle, that one where you were at to get the note out right from the beginning to get the E. Think faster, Aaron. We don't really want to adjust this too much. You just have to think with the air. Crescendo more at the end of the E to get the B out. Okay, so the whole concept with these upper notes, it is going to take more and more time to get. But you're understanding the concept of the whole idea of the 12ths, making sure everything stays the same, air support, your tongue, hitting the register key. So we went through the F scale, tonguing and slurring. We did some work on the 12ths and we reviewed a lot of it from the beginning. So next time we'll touch on getting the last two notes out, E to B and F to C, and then we'll get into what's called crossing the bridge, which is a big fun idea on the clarinet. So this was a good lesson.